Hey there, I'm back. Can you believe it? It's only been, I don't know, one day since I've made a video. Pretty good. Now I know what you're gonna say, but you're wearing the same outfit as the last video. How does that mean one day? Continuity is for once gonna be a thing, as
No, it
even
is
though I'm gonna
not.
be wearing
That
different
was
clothes the
recorded
next
3 days
thing,
ago.
this is gonna get done tomorrow,
Not
but we'll talk
tomorrow,
about that
three
in a
days from
second.
now.
See, I've been a little bit bored after, I got Donkey Kong and everything recently, which, by the way, really fun game. I know I made the clay figure, but the game came in today. Really fun, but, I wanted to make something, and I've been thinking, well, made a lot of clay stuff recently. What else can I make? And then I remembered something. I remembered that I got a box a little bit ago, which had a bunch of my stuff from an old house that we lived in because we moved a while ago. And I got a bunch of fabric back, and I thought, well, I have way too much fabric. Like, look at this, right? See these drawers here, right? Well, look at this. This is all fabric. This is all fabric. This is all fabric. It's just ridiculous. So I need something to do with the fabric, and I remembered the long Furby. Now I figured I already have a very long Furby. It's around 8 feet tall. I mean, you'd think that's large enough, but the thing is that when you think of long Furby, I don't really think there's really a limit to how long it can be, although I do think that what it is now is, pretty good. Anyway, I have a ruler tape here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the circumference of the, circle, or rather just the diameter. You get my point. The whole little circle around the long Furby, so I can figure out how wide I need to make the fabric, and I can really just choose how long I want to make it. So the measurement came out to be around 17 inches, sorry. A little bit over that, so I'm just gonna round it up to 17 and a half because I can always just cut it down a little more later, and I think that I can just sew it on to make the bottom a little bit bigger. It works either way, but I do have enough fabric, I believe, to probably make this a couple feet longer, and all I really have to do is just take the, string out of the bottom here, take that circle out, extend it from the bottom, fill it with stuffing, and then I can just sew that circle back in without having to really deal with any more fabric, so I'd say this is going to be pretty good. Okay, so I pretty much found the mother load here. I found this piece of fabric, and this one's perfect. It's over 17 inches wide, so that already covers the circumference area and everything. But not to mention the fact that this not only exceeds the circumference area, so I can cut it as round as I really want it to, but this is almost 4.5 feet long, meaning that I can make, like this, go from like here down to here, and best part, I still have these pieces of fabric, which can probably let me extend it another 2 or 3 feet. And then another perfect thing about this is that if I use the little scraps here like perfectly efficiently, and take a rectangle of this stuff, the 17-inch by however long this is, and then I use the rest of this, I can cut these out to 17-inch strips, wrap that around, sew them together, and I can probably add an extra 1.5 to 2 feet. So this thing's probably gonna go from being 8 feet now to like 15. Anyway, yeah, this is gonna be a bunch of work, a bunch of sewing and time, and so I'm gonna upload the actual video tomorrow, most likely.
No,
the day
3
after,
days
so
from
that's
now.
why I said, oh, it's a day after, because today is the day I uploaded the random object review.
No, it wasn't.
Although the next day is going to be the day that I upload this, so that's why I said a
No,
day
it isn't.
ahead. But regardless, it's going to most likely be done tomorrow. And,
No.
something to do tomorrow, so I think that's fun. But yeah, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, this time, do a little transition to the time-lapse, ready? A little YouTube thing? Alright. What?
What, did you honestly expect me to put a completely blank time-lapse in here with no audio? No. Of course not. So, here's some Undertale music for you, for the little tiny amount of time this goes on for.
So I actually realized that I ended up cutting this, a bit too long, and also it is the second day after I was wrong. I'm sorry, but I ended up cutting the thing to be 27 inches wide instead of 17, which was the circumference of the original Furby, so I don't know what I was thinking there, but I managed to get it and put it all together. But I realized hand sewing, it just takes too much time, and, I could do hand sewing, but then I realized something even easier. hot glue. And don't think I'm gonna like skimp out on the hot glue. Oh no, I'm making it all down the thing, not like little dollops, like all across. So this thing is gonna still be strong. Like I can, I just glued this and I can tug on it pretty well. So that'll be fine. And I have some more fabric back there. So I'm gonna finally extend this piece and then I'm gonna wrap it around on itself so I can, make it one cylinder and then I'll fill it with the stuffing.
Alright, so we got our cylinder. It's a big, good old piece of fabric. And we're gonna fill this up with pillow stuffing. We're gonna take the little cap thing off the end of that. Gonna be, pretty good. Then we're gonna attach this to here, and then we're gonna put that on the bottom of there, so that we end up having, a total, length that's just gonna be absolutely ridiculous.
So I would have worn the glasses for this portion, but I kind of wanted you to see the emotion on my face from this. Because, okay, so originally the long Furby was around 8.5 feet tall, and I thought that was pretty good. But after a bit, after figuring I should probably use the rest of my fabric, you already know the whole thing, right? Well, see up there, right? It's a bit taller than before, right? Well, if you look down, goes over here, it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and now it's there. Now it's about the equivalent of Shaquille O'Neal, his height, multiplied by 2, at a foot in 2 inches.
What I essentially mean by this is the equivalent of 15 feet and 4 inches tall. I can't even describe how happy I am with this. Look at this. It's beautiful.
Anyway, what I originally did with it was up there and it wrapped around once and then its feet were off the side. But what I think I'm going to do now is instead I'm going to have it wrapped down, go underneath my bed, and curl around in the bottom of it. So if I ever need to take it out, it will literally be like one of those clown car things or one of those things with the clowns where like they have a little string in their mouth and they start pulling it out and it keeps going. That's going to be what this is. Anyway, if this is going to serve as anything, I'll say I highly recommend making one of these. They're pretty fun. If you are going to ever make a long Furby, my recommendation is buy a knockoff Furby, because Furbies are just, if you buy a pure white Furby, they're extremely expensive. This I got off Amazon for like $15, so that's pretty good. But if you go to Walmart or something, they tend to have a good selection of fleece fabric for much cheaper than any other store that I've seen. So get the color that your Furby is, measure out the circumference of the Furby, and you have to cut out the electronics too. Forgot to mention that, yeah, because the thing is terrifying. But yeah, pretty much you just take that fabric, measure the circumference of it, and then that's the width of how, the circle that you're going to have. And then, you put the length that you're going to want, and then you wrap that around itself, glue it or, sew it, whatever you may do. And that's about it. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little segment that, I think it was an enjoyable experience. I mean, it was a fun thing to do. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.